As we've been telling you, luxury car makers like Mercedes, Audi and BMW have a good grip on the Indian market, as the numbers suggest. But of late, super luxury cars haven't had it as good as before.
It is really against the cars. Our environment, whether it's taxation, whether it's infrastructure, whatever, really makes it hard for these manufacturers to really get good numbers.
So hefty price tags are a deterrent. From a Ferrari that could cost anywhere between 2.25 to 3.5 crores to a Lamborghini that's roughly around that, or then a Rolls Royce that goes from 4 to a whopping 9 crores. Every brand seems to have wanted a slice of that pie. The performance car market refuses to take its foot off the pedal. BMW came out with the M5, a 4-door coupe for just under a crore, making it very competitive. And from Mercedes, a slew of AMG products, which are their regular models injected with what else but a high dose of performance. When performance becomes more than just two-seater sports cars, where does it leave the likes of Porsche? Well, they too have brought in a slew of cars this year. They've tried to up their game in this market, bringing in the 911 Targa 4 at just over a crore and a half, the Boxster GTS again at less than a crore and a half, and last year it also got in the Macan S diesel, the Macan Turbo and the new Cayenne diesel. Audi too have launched the RS7, the performance edition of their A7 Sportback, with a price tag of a crore and a quarter.
But it was something that I could drive every single day and take the family out on the weekends and not feel guilty about having to just go off for a drive by myself. And it's that emotional experience. People demand more and more from their products. These are, like I say, niche products, but they cater for people who want that particular product.
The statelier cars like those from Rolls Royce and Bentley are also moving towards acquiring a younger profile of customers who want performance along with luxury. Bentley launched the Flying Spur V8 last year, Rolls Royce came out with the Wraith in 2013 and the Ghost 2 series last year. Though these launches are nowhere close in number to the others, their positioning is quite clear.
When you talk of Rolls Royce, it really is a name that connotes luxury at the highest level. And quite clearly, I think the Ghost walks the talk. It's really sublimely smooth. It's so well made. And just the kind of ambience you have in the car, it just shuts out everything from you and it really makes you feel special. In fact, I think the ride is really like a magic carpet ride and you just can't believe you're driving in Bombay when you're in that car.
Well, talking about Rolls Royce, we quizzed Paul Harris, Regional Director Asia Pacific, Rolls Royce Motors, on his plans for India. He further drove home Hormuz's point and spoke about a lot more. You know, competition like brands like things like RS7, the M cars in India, do they make it hard for you? Because, you know, the younger the profile, the more sporty they want the car, the more, you know, they like the convertibles. So does that make it tough for you? And was this, I think, one of the reasons for this product, the Dawn, like you said?
Well, I don't think it's the question of sport or anything. It's more about discerning luxury and how that's delivered. So our cars have a phenomenal level of performance, but it's all about the way it's delivered. So for an Indian road that, you know, can be, you know, variable from very good to not so good, then of course the Rolls Royce Magic Carpet ride really suits those people. So you've got phenomenal power in a very Rolls Royce delivered way that gives people that feeling of exhilaration that they can achieve, but also in ultimate comfort. And that's really what our product range is all about. And Wraith and Dawn have definitely attracted a differentiated client, a slightly younger client. Our client average age is falling, not expanding, so that's a very pleasing dynamic for the Rolls Royce brand and for customers alike to be involved in that younger, cooler, trendier car.
What is the customer base that you look at for, like, say, like the Ghost in India? You know, it's obviously you're looking at a younger profile. We've now got you've got an SUV that's coming up as well. So you're obviously looking to widen that customer base that you had before. What's the kind of profile you look at for, say, like the Ghost in India?
The Phantom is the tuxedo, the special occasion red carpet car, and the Ghost is your everyday business suit car where you can still, you know, carry out business in your car very, very favourably, but it's, you know, gives you a more flexible opportunity where you can either have a chauffeur or give your chauffeur the weekend off and enjoy the drive yourself. And then all the way through to Wraith, which is more of the sports jacket type of product. And then just recently, of course, we've announced the fabulous Dawn, which is a much more casual, fresh, exciting convertible car, full four-seater, plenty of room. It's for those ultimate early mornings where you've got that feeling of freshness about the day coming over you, hence the name. It's a really exciting product that will be coming into India next year.
Considering the profile of owners that Rolls Royce has, I mean, it must be a global problem, but I'm sure in India everybody wants their car really quick, and that can be difficult sometimes. I think getting the cars out fast enough to the Indian people. How do you tackle that? We
sort of think slow's a better way, really, because the reason we say that is because when you're commissioning a fine piece of craftsmanship and luxury like you are when you're doing a Rolls Royce, it's a considered choice. We're therefore very considered in the way that we consult with our clients. We'll fly them into Goodwood, or they'll come and see us in Goodwood, our home, consult with the designer and even the people making the cars to see what really suits them ideally. They'll go away, and sometimes the level of detailing and bespoke can take months, sometimes years to finalise, and then we go into a build process. So for us, immediacy of supply is important on the odd occasions, and we have a small stock of showroom display models here, but most for us it's really all about crafting a bespoke individual car and letting that customer indulge in that experience, understand what it's all about, and then have the ultimate product delivered to them in the Indian market. It's about 4 weeks to market by sea and 3 or 4 days by air, so there's a choice a customer can play there as well in terms of if he wants to speed his delivery up or slow it down by ship.
Do you see Indian customers wanting a very high level of customization in their vehicles? Do you see a difference between a global trend in India, or do you see that everywhere? It's pretty similar to anywhere else?
No, we do see differentiating bespoke. Last year, 95% of all cars that came here had some degree of personalisation on them. What we're seeing is a deeper dive into that, so they're looking at individualised colours. We have a colour palette of 42,000 colours, and some of those just aren't sufficient, and they want a colour match to something that they particularly like. We specialise in that. We specialise in embroidery. We specialise in tread plates, and it can be from the most ostentatious to the most subtle. We just go with what the client wants and work with them to achieve their ultimate, which is of course the ultimate Rolls Royce.
What are you looking at as the vision for India in the future?
We'd like to see more Indians driving our product in India, because we think the car's ideally suited to Indian clientele. We'd like to encourage people who've not considered a Rolls Royce to really give it a go and give a modern Rolls Royce an opportunity to perform for them, so that they can be wowed by what the product can do.
And what are the steps you're taking to encourage those new customers?
Well, we've always had a very individualised way of approaching our client base, and I don't really see us changing that. As I said, we've got 5 outlets. We are where our clients are really, or we'll come to where you are. So that's the simple message really, is that we are flexible in where we engage with you. We'd like to engage with you, and we'd like to be able to demonstrate to people what we can do for them and meet their desires.
Great, it's been great talking to you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.